Guys, the biggest question I get asked by people starting agencies is what is the best way to get clients? And in this video, I'm going to be exploring my top 7 techniques, and I'm going to be giving them all a rating out of 10, explaining the pros and the cons. I'm going to give you guys a quick hint. Number 7 is the most effective way to get clients and to grow your business. Before we jump in, if you're new here, my name is Joel House. I built my agency to $146,000 a month. I've had it for 10 years. And I've done over 8 figures of sales. So let's jump in. So the biggest question, and it's literally $1 million question here, is how do you get clients? And the reality is 73% of AI agencies fail in the first 18 months. And this goes for all marketing agencies, so you know. And look, the difference really comes down to a critical factor. Can you get clients or not? So ultimately, most agencies go through these 4 cycles. They either go through feasts and famine, where they'll really push hard and grow, and they'll go aggressive on their marketing, and then they'll land a big client. And what will happen is they'll switch off their marketing and they'll stop doing it in order to then deliver that client. That creates a feast and famine cycle. The next becomes a price competition issue, and essentially becomes a race to the bottom. And that's what happens when you don't have a consistent strategy to attract clients. You're left with nothing but trying to compete on price. Third is a credibility gap. People just seeing you as another tech vendor. That's something to solve in another video, but keep in mind that's an issue you're going to face. And then it's going to be an inconsistent pipeline, which is essentially you don't have a strategic way to get clients. And that's what I'm going to share with you how to resolve. So let's jump in. This is a system that I've been developing, and it's basically on what I recommend over the next 5 years, as well as what's worked in the past. So number 1, cold email outreach. Effectiveness score, 7 out of 10. The pros of this is it's low cost, it is high volume, you can potentially scale up, and it's pretty quick to start. Like, it is one of those methods that within, especially if you buy pre-warmed email inboxes from Instantly or Smart Lead or any of the services that offer them, you can realistically get a campaign from brand new beginner to live in 24 hours, and you can start generating appointments within 24, 48 hours. So it's really, really cool. Cons, low response rate. If you don't have your tech set up, you'll have deliverability issues, you'll run into burning inboxes, and you'll burn leads. It is also difficult to get your message dialed in. You can search for every template you want online, but if people have sharing the template online, chances are it's already been burned. You don't want to use that template. Now, I recommend this for brand new agencies as well as those looking to have a predictable scaling channel, because it is something that for a couple $100s a month, you can scale up. And I'm leaning into cold email more and more. The biggest con here is when you're doing outbound, you're always on the back foot in the sales conversations, where someone that comes inbound in any form of inbound, you have a instant form of credibility where you do have to overcome that. So case studies are really important here, as well as essentially having a really great offer. If you're just coming in and saying, I want to sell you AI services, good luck. If you're coming in and saying, I'm going to generate you 40 appointments a month or your money back, you start having a little more of a chance here. Now, a little quote from Walt. You'll notice I like Walt Disney. He's built some really cool stuff. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So quick stop here. If you have not got a client yet, I'd even pause this right now, get an email campaign going, come back, and then watch the rest of the video. So method number 2, social media marketing. For me, this is a 5 out of 10. The biggest downside is speed. Social media marketing is a slow way of growing. I'm talking organic here, not paid. The pro is it solves a lot of that authority issue that you have and that people talk about. It's also difficult to generate ROI. I have told the story in this channel before, but one of the biggest case studies I personally have for AI automation and selling that through social media is I met a guy on Christmas Day in the park. We were chatting, and turns out he was the CEO of an AI marketing company, an AI SaaS platform specifically. And one of my services is helping those guys get more sales. So I just said, I actually help people like you. Let's grab a coffee sometime. And I just left it at that. I didn't even get the guy's number. I then get a message on LinkedIn. He looked me up and it's like, dude, love your content. Let's have a coffee. Can we do tomorrow? I was like, dude, tomorrow's the day after Christmas. Can we do it, 27th? And I was like, sure, let's do it. And within a week, I had a $284,000 a year proposal straight to him, straight to the CEO. Now, yes, there was a chance meeting in a park. Yes, I live in an affluent neighborhood. But the thing that convinced him was the content on my LinkedIn. So the reason I've given this a 5, not a 3, is because your social media becomes essentially a catalog. And if you're doing B2B sales of any sort, LinkedIn's going to be your platform. Number 3, paid advertising. Pros, so for me, this is a 4 out of 7, 4 out of 10. It's probably the lowest out of these ones. The biggest challenge here is budget and hook. So I don't recommend this for beginners. Although it's quick, unless you've got a lot of cash to spend, stay away. The reality is you want to get an offer that works, and email is the best way to get that. Get an offer that works, scale it, and then you want to just hammer omnipresence with paid advertising. So this is both Google and Facebook. Number 4, industry events and conferences. This is actually honestly a really underrated one. I'd probably actually take this to a 7 instead of a 6. Biggest pros, face-to-face connections. When you meet someone face-to-face, you're going to sell. I did a lot of conferences before I started my agency when I used to work for someone else in an agency, which is another pro tip. If you've never worked in a business, even if you're starting your AI agency, go and get a job at another marketing agency for 6 months. Learn what's going on while you build yours on the side. It's a really, really great way to get some insights, keep some cash flowing if you don't have a job, and then you can grow from there. Now, the biggest downside is it costs money. Even if you have conferences in your city, like if you live in a big city like LA or Orlando, somewhere where there's a lot of conferences, it costs money to have a booth. Now, you can get around this by taking a stack of business cards or pamphlets or something and going and talking to the vendors. So say, for example, rather than getting a booth at, let's say, a plumbing convention or a wedding convention, as an example, I'm going to use weddings because weddings follows conventions. Rather than getting a booth there and saying, hey, we can advertise to all you guys, go and talk to all the vendors. You can get in as an attendee for free most of the time. Go in the afternoon when it's not busy and go talk to them all and be like, hey, I'd love to help you grow and there's no risk. Or if you want to target a specific industry, you've got some cash, get a booth, sign up, you'll get some really high quality leads there. Biggest tip here is to follow up like crazy and have a really great offer and to do something that stands out. Like attend a couple of trade shows before you exhibit, and then you start to get to know how it works, because trade shows are a pretty intense one, but really powerful because very few people are doing them. Content marketing and SEO, 6 out of 10. I say this humbly as someone who has sold SEO as a primary service for nearly 10 years. I still sell it to clients to this day. I think it's an absolutely extraordinary marketing method. If you're starting a business, and I know that most people watching my channel are starting their AI agencies, SEO is something that is going to be a long burn. It requires investment. So I recommend getting your outbound going and then starting your SEO once you've got some cash. And then you just want to build that for the long-term play. It does deliver a lot of stability. The biggest pro with SEO is when someone comes to you via SEO, those leads close so easily, because not only are they looking for what you have, they're also looking to buy it now. So those two things combined are really, really powerful. Now, a quote we've all heard, your network is your net worth. Guess what's up next? Strategic partnerships. Second most powerful method here. So this is an 8 out of 10. Now, strategic partnerships are essentially partnering with an agency or with another company that has complementary services to your ideal clientele. So to give you an example, when I was selling SEO quite heavily, took a partnership with a print marketing company. So someone who was designing business cards, flyers, etc. And I gave them a kickback, basically, if they referred someone to me. It's that simple. This is a really, really cool way to do it. And ultimately, this is where your network comes in. You need to get known within definitely your city, but ultimately your industry as a whole. You want to just talk to people, get people to know you. This can become very, very lucrative. To this day, I probably get 2 to 4 referrals a month for old services, SEO and ads. Not even for the stuff that we're doing now. This is just legacy. I've built these relationships over the years, and it pumps cash through. It's a really, really great way of doing it. Now, number 7, the direct referral method. Guys, if you take nothing away from this video or any of my other videos, listen right now. The direct referral method and the incentivized referral method is the most powerful way to get leads for your AI automation agency. And all you do is this. You reach out to your network and you say, hey, I'll give you a 20% recurring cut of any money that I make from anyone you send to me. And then you sit down, you have a coffee, you explain your offers, you explain how much money they get. You will find that you'll start creating a commission sales army of friends, of family, of business colleagues, of clients, of everyone that comes to your house to repair everything. It becomes like a snowball. So I cannot stress enough, this is the best way of doing it. And if you want a pro tip here, you really want to be strategic about who you approach first. So your younger brother who works at McDonald's probably doesn't know millionaire business owners. He will refer you to his cleaner and to his gardener or whatever. But if you want to really grow, find people who know people. That is, find people who seem to be influencers in the business community. Join your local chamber of commerce. Get to know who's kind of the movers and shakers there, who really understands the industry and the market and your demographic and your geographic. Those guys are going to be great referral sources. And if you can get your foot in the door or know someone who does play business at a bigger level, like my best referral source is a guy who had a $20 million a year finance business. Why? Because all of his friends run $20 million a year finance businesses. So when he referred me, I was getting epic referrals. And that's all for AI services. That's something that's actually come recently. So one of the other things here, you do need to really deliver. Like if people refer a lead to you and you do not follow up with the lead, look after the lead and deliver extraordinary results, you're never going to get another lead from them again because they're going out of their way to refer you, and no amount of money is going to solve that. So guys, I've actually got a stack of additional slides here. Ultimately, I'm going to keep this video short. I could go for days on this, but I'm going to keep this one short. So that is my 7 top methods. If you want more detailed training on any particular one of those methods, drop a comment below, tell me which one, and I'll share with you and I'll shoot a video with my playbook as to how I leverage each one of those platforms to kick ass selling AI automation services. Have an amazing day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.